and to be meaningful contributing members to our communities. I am dismayed, if not worse, by Sheriff Villanueva's attempt to bait and switch the community by using contractors in the jail to travel on these agents. I agree with the ACLU's statement that this in fact could make our communities and neighborhoods less safe, not more safe, by bait and switching them and getting their trust in a non-correct, dishonest way. I think that the recommendations of the Oversight Commission do seem to address most of my concerns, and I do hope that you all will stay strong in your recommendations that we create a bright line between federal immigration authorities and Los Angeles County, and that we not doubly punish people who have already served their time and who deserve an opportunity to go back into the community and make good lives for themselves and their families. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Michael Greer, followed by Scott Doyle, followed by Kane Arteaga.
My name is Michael Greer. Last month, one of your members was offended by my saying American Freedom Alliance was concerned with the threats to Western civilization. I spoke to her after the meeting and asked if she thought Western civilization was a dog whistle for white supremacy, and she said she did. And that I should choose different words. We are living in dangerous times when terms and words are redefined to mean something they were never intended to mean. And paint people negatively for using them. Western civilization created governments of the people, not of government, where all men were created equal and justice was blind. They brought more people out of poverty than any other system. They protected the liberty and individual and allowed self-determination. The liberty of individuals allowed innovations that made our lives safer and more fun. Light bulbs, cars, planes, radios, televisions, cell phones, computers. Is the system perfect? Does it achieve all it promises? No. But it aspires to, and it creates a system that is the fairest and freest for all who live there, regardless of race, religion, or creed. It's the inception of Western civilization. Yes, the inception of civilization was mostly white, because without planes, trains, and automobiles, migration wasn't as widespread as it is now. Western civilization may have been created by white men, but it created the highest standard of living for all, even the poorest. It created a system that benefits all, not just white people. It's divisive to suggest anything developed by white people is racist. Do white people seek their own self-interest? Sure, as do blacks, Asians, and Latinos. It is normal for people to seek what is familiar, to become more comfortable with people who share their values and culture. This is human nature, not racism. If we are to ever live peacefully with each other, we need to stop demonizing human nature. Before last month, no one had ever suggested to me that Western civilization was synonymous with white supremacy. We actually have members and donors in our organization of every race, religion, and creed, and not a single one of them has ever made that suggestion to me. And Western civilization is definitely not synonymous with white supremacy. I don't intend to choose different words, and I will never stop working to protect Western civilization.
Scott Doyle, followed by Kane Arteaga, followed by Lorene Casanes.
I already spoke.
Kane Arteaga.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to speak on behalf of my younger brother who passed away at our facility approximately 30 months ago. So he passed away on the 21st of January, and He was then transported to the USC medical facility down the street. And his body was revived, and then he was declared dead 4 days later. Effectively removing his liability from Los Angeles Sheriff's Department because it didn't occur in their jurisdiction. I find that unacceptable. The homicide scientific case went ahead and made the call in terms of the case of the cause of death, which was then passed on to the LA County Morgue's office, which is then regurgitated on paper. Verbatim exactly what it is that the sheriff homicide detective had determined. So, I've been inquiring as to why that occurred, why they never actually adhered to the agency's policy, which requires, the use of force policy requires them to reach out to the DA's office, have them come down and do an on-scene investigation, an administrative work, a criminal investigation, which could come from an administrative investigation. That did not occur. Why? Because they don't adhere to the policy. After several months of getting run around, I came down here to the ER facility and inquired as to why my brother was still listed on the listed as an inmate at the Twin Towers facility. Why is he still there? I didn't get any answers. So I reached out to several departments within the agency, with the internal investigations department, the homicide department, the legal relations department, and they just kept referring me back and forth to the same personnel. So, long story short, I was told that there was going to be an investigation, right, that would take up to a year. Well, on the 24th of this year, I reached out to a detective, Woodruff, a detective that was in charge of the case at the department, and he told me that it was already resolved months ago, a year ago. So, yeah, back up.
Will you make sure to give your name to the staff so that we can follow up with you?
I also have a question as to whether you contacted and made a complaint to either the Inspector General or to the Civilian Oversight Commission.
I recently found out about your guys' agency here, but I've been inquiring about this for months. Like I said, the sheriff's department representatives just keep referring, keep giving me misinformation.
All right, perhaps the Inspector General can have somebody speak to you before you leave today.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We will.
Lori Massonis, followed by Stephen Box, followed by Rose Reese.
Good morning, I'm Lori Massonis. I was not present last month for the last meeting, but I am here to say I support the presentation that Michael Greer gave, and that I do support law enforcement, I do support ICE to work in the LAPD jails, county jails, and I also want to add my 2 cents. I'm a lifelong Californian. I want and I expect elected officials and enforcement personnel to exercise the oath that they were sworn when they took office or took position. And that oath is to the U.S. Constitution. And that includes protecting citizens and legal residents, the key word, legal residents, to protect us from enemies, both domestic and foreign. And here's what's so peculiar. domestic, obviously, in our country and our local arena. And yet our state does everything it can to pander to federal lawbreakers like illegal aliens, and including the practice of SB 54, giving them special rights to criminal aliens. So indeed, those are foreign invaders in our domestic arena. So please recall that it's your duty to protect the citizens. Thank you.
Stephen Boggs, followed by Rose Reese, followed by Milena Janikovic.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to hear and talk. I believe that for the people of LA County to have effective oversight of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, it's imperative that we have a system and a process for filing a complaint, a system that actually works. And that's not my experience. A simple incident on November 1st prompted me to complain. And so on November 2nd, I called the park superintendent where the incident took place, but he couldn't take the complaint. He made a few phone calls and called me back and referred me to the LA Sheriff's Department. And I called the watch commander that he referred me to, who didn't take my complaint, but instead debated the merits of my complaint. I didn't want to waste time debating with someone that obviously wasn't going to take my complaint. So I asked for his supervisor. He said he didn't have one. And I know that we all have supervisors or oversight. So I went on my own and found the captain. And I spent a significant amount of time, a couple hours, talking with the captain. It still didn't manifest itself with a complaint, in spite of my intentions, desires, and actions. I pursued it. I went to the County Board of Supervisors, and I spoke there. I was directed to the Executive Department. I was directed back to the Supervisor's Office. I was finally directed to the County Hall of Records, where I attempted to file a complaint, and there I was told I needed to go to Benelli Park. I showed them the paperwork on their desk that said I could do it in person, by phone, on a piece of paper, and I said, could I just speak to a supervisor so I can file a complaint? A supervisor appeared, didn't take my complaint, instead directed me across the street to the Hall of Justice, where I found in the bowels of the Hall of Justice the dispatch center, and I finally found someone who could take my complaint. And that was quite a bit of a journey. I don't think that a reasonable person would do what I'm doing. It's been 4 months, almost 4 months. So I'm not here to tell you I'm reasonable, I'm here to tell you I'm stubborn. But I'm also here to tell you that I think the bigger issue than my complaint, which by the way, was about 2 simple tickets written by one individual to 2 people, the exact same tickets, one of which was reversed and one of which was upheld. So even when I pursue the process of complaining or contesting a simple thing, the results don't indicate that this system works. And so my name is Stephen Boggs, and I'm here for your assistance because I believe that we deserve oversight, and it has to have a system and a process that works. And I'm the evidence that it doesn't work. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Rose Reese, followed by Milena Janikovic.
Good morning. My name is Rose Reese, and I also support due process for everyone, regardless of immigration status. I am the author of an undocumented father and mother. They came over to the United States during the Chinese Exclusion Act, in which the only way my dad could come over was to buy a paper indicating that he was a citizen. Only citizens were allowed to come to the United States. We bought the paper, and thus you might be familiar with the term neighbor's son. My dad worked very hard. He came here to make a good life. He worked very hard, and it was 10 years before he could bring his family over. And at that time, one once they landed, I was born. And I still recall my childhood. I was living in fear because Aunt Susie was coming over and she would face interrogation at that time on Angel Island, which is comparable to Ellis Island. And we had to make sure all our facts were squared. Otherwise, there were chances that we could be deported. Well, this went on for a while, and thank goodness for ex-President Ronald Reagan, who granted amnesty to 3 million immigrants. And my father and mother were among those selected. And since that time, my family has taken advantage and contributed to the community. I have a nephew who is a doctor, a niece who's a teacher, and I myself am into project management. So our successes are only because we want to contribute to the community. My in-laws were also had their experiences because they were Japanese. And as you recall, during World War II, there was the Japanese internment camps for the Japanese. And these were citizens, they had done nothing. And there was the 442 Battalion, which is composed of Japanese American citizens who signed up in the army to fight for the United States. And they were one of the most decorated battalions. So there's a lot of these instances where immigrants have contributed to the U.S. society for the good. And so now we have people coming from different areas because different parts of the country, because of warfare in the country or gangs. And the United States has been very receptive of these immigrants until, it's been very experienced since the 2016 elections. But I'm glad for our California State Legislature that has SB 54, the California Values Act, to help our community and protect our community so that these people can make a better life for themselves. Because that's what we want.
Thank you. Our last speaker for item 2, Milena Zaninkovic.
Good morning, and just very quickly, I was not here last month, so I don't want to take all 3 minutes. I actually want to just make a general comment about the agenda this morning, and that is that I see that we're debating, we're discussing the implementation of the Trust Act. So I wasn't sure why exactly that is the case, because we're in 2019 and Trust Act is an old law from 2014, which I believe was supplanted by SB 54. So I'm more interested in hearing about, very current and present problems with the entanglement of Sheriff's Department and federal law enforcement. Very specifically, we have heard that Mr. Villanueva is not allowing ICE in the jails anymore, and that perhaps ICE is now replaced by contractors, corporate contractors. Not exactly sure what's going on, but my point is it would be great to get a lot more information on what exactly is going on right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Now we're have a presentation from the LA County Sheriff's Department, and it's Commander Maurice Holmes. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning to give you an update on the department's changes in regards to the civil immigration matters. Hopefully we can answer a lot of the questions that have been brought up from some of the speakers. I've had the pleasure to meet many of you here at the committee, the town hall meetings, jail tours. Most of you are aware of past policies, practices of the department as they regard to civil immigration matters. Today I'm going to give you a short PowerPoint presentation which highlights 3 areas that we have changed due to new policies implemented by Sheriff Goodwin. After my presentation, the Office of Inspector General Shadi Cardon will also show you a PowerPoint which gives more of an overview of the Trust Act, the Truth Act, the Values Act, how our department is compliant with those 3 areas. So I will start the presentation here. Like I said, there's 3 items that we'll be reviewing. The first one is the removal of the ICE agents from our jails, the misdemeanor conviction list that is used by our department, and the detainer notification. Removal of the ICE agents. As of February 1st of this year, agents are no longer permitted in any of the sheriff's facilities to conduct any civil immigration matters. Again, I think the key there is civil immigration enforcement. Civil immigration interviews are no longer conducted within the sheriff's department facilities. And the transfer of the inmates, of any inmates who do qualify under SB 54, the Values Act, for civil immigration detainers are completed by contract transport officers. In other words, inmates that do qualify under SB 54 are still being transferred to the custody of immigration. The misdemeanor list we looked at and the previous list, conviction list, had 151 crimes. The time frame for that list, the reach back was 5 years. The sheriff has decided, after looking at it, after reviewing the list, after talking to a lot of the advocate groups, that he would take about 1/3 of those crimes away from that list, and it became 101 crimes that we left on the list. And he also made the reach back 3 years versus 5 years. And the last thing we have changed is the detainer notification form, due to the fact that our old notification form talked about some of the rights that the inmates were given when they were being interviewed by ICE, and the fact that ICE might want to interview them, but due to the fact they're not there anymore. So we changed the form. One of the things is we affirmed the department's no interview policy, and we added the public defender's phone number that was on their request, or by their request, and we also removed ICE's phone number that was in the original list. I'm going to go over just the release process. I think that a lot of the questions that have been brought up of the current release process without ICE agents in the jail. So what will happen is the contract transportation officers arrive at our seat at our what's called our compound. They'll enter our jail through our salad court. They'll eventually go to what we call our custody line desk, where they receive paperwork for the transport of the inmate. They eventually go through a release hallway, where they eventually show up at our property and money or cashiers, and they pick up the property and money of the inmate that they're going to be transporting. They then go back to the custody line desk and they wait there until the inmate is brought to them by our deputies. Our deputies will escort the inmate. And this is kind of a photo of picture of our cameras. Usually on a daily basis, occurs about between 9 in the morning and 12 in the afternoon. I'm not sure if I can get the pointer here. But everybody out here on the left side of that picture are either officers or transport officers from other agencies that are there to pick up inmates from our custody when we do a custody release to those officers or those transport officers. So that's our current policy, and we have now doing that same policy that we have all other agencies do. So this is a summary of the changes. The ICE agents are prohibited from entering any jail facility for civil immigration matters. The misdemeanor conviction list was reduced by 50 crimes in the time frame to 3 years. And the dictator notification form has the department's policy interviews, no longer has ICE phone number on it, now has the public defender's phone number. And that is the presentation of the three big, or the three items that have been changed since February 1st. I'll let come up and do her presentation.
I thought it
Any
might be,
questions now or
I
afterwards?
thought it might be from the presentation, Chief, and then ask.
We have a speaker signed up for both presentations.
Yeah, okay, you're gonna stay, correct? Okay, yeah, stay, so, yeah, this way, the information we'll get now will kind of clarify for everyone some of the changes in these different acts, and then we can go to.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's nice to see all of you again. So I want to talk a little bit, dive a little bit deeper on the three changes that the commander just talked about. The new sheriff has made some big promises about immigration and the big policy changes that have occurred. In fact, just recently in LA Times, he was saying that he has a comprehensive plan that's going to mark a deliberate shift on immigration policy. So here we are today, and we have three things that have changed. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into them and talk about whether they are deliberate shifts on immigration policy, and if they have any impact on changes on the past policies that were implemented by the previous sheriff. But before I do, I want to bore you a little bit about the law, because I think there is general confusion to these terms that we use all the time. The Trust Act, the Values Act, the Truth Act, and I just really want to break down what each of them in some ways stand for. As we know, the Trust Act that was in effect since 2014 basically sets out standards for how local law enforcement can respond to ICE holds and detainers. Most importantly, notably, it lists qualifying transfer convictions, those being the list of charges in which local law enforcement can transfer individuals into immigration authorities. Now, in 2018, the Values Act, Senate Bill 54, went into effect. It essentially replaced the Trust Act and is now the current law. It did place more restrictions on how local law enforcement can operate with ICE, but again, it kept the qualifying convictions listed in the Trust Act only. They can't hear me. Kept the qualifying convictions listed in the Trust Act with a 15-year time limitation based on some of the felonies. There's a list of what we commonly refer to as an enumerated felony list, and those are the ones that now have a 15-year term. That essentially is the requirement. What that means is that if a detainer has been issued by ICE, then an inmate must be provided